everybody, Tom from PC Gamer here with Jeremy Craig and Aaron Keller of the Overwatch team to talk about some of the new things they announced here at BlizzCon this weekend. Let's start with the arcade mode. You guys are adding a whole bunch of new ways to play Overwatch pretty soon.
So arcade mode is a new destination in the play menu. When you go there, you'll see that we have two new modes that we added. One is a 1v1, we're calling Mystery Duel, and the other one is a 3v3 elimination. There's also all the brawls that we previously had in the game will be put in as a kind of a playlist that you can kind of run through. We have weekly rewards, and rewards attached to each game mode for first wins.
So that seems like a pretty big departure from what we've seen up until now, which is the weird modes as they were quarantined to 1 week only or a month in the terms of events. What made you guys want to open it up, and are you worried at all about that idea of like splitting the queue?
I mean, there's definitely a little bit of a worry there about splitting the queue, but people have always been asking for very specific things from Overwatch. They always want new heroes, they want new maps, and they want new game modes to play in the game. And so this is the best way to give them a lot of that. It's very difficult to come up with a game mode that's completely different than the rest of Overwatch and then just throw that into the quick play or God forbid, the competitive queue. So we kind of look at this as sort of our laboratory of experimenting with new game modes and giving players a completely different way of playing Overwatch. All that being said, we do put a lot of time into these game modes. The 1v1 mode is incredibly fun. It's a great way to get in and start playing Overwatch. It can be like a warm-up for you. It can also be a great way to kind of like cool down. Overwatch is a really intense game, so it's a nice way to kind of end a session. And then it's also really cool to just get in, and it will teach you, like playing 1v1 really teaches you the nuances of some of the heroes, because the way the format is designed is every life matters so much that you're really focusing on what your hero can and can't do at any moment.
And that's also allowed you to open up or to change up quick play a little bit now that you guys have this space to have weirder things happen. You've limited hero stacking to only one hero per team in quick play as well. Can you just talk to me about, I guess, why you decided to do that? Because initially the no hero stacking in competitive was even seemed like almost an experiment.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah, we can talk about that. We feel like the game works better when there's no hero stacking in it, and when we put it into competitive, we were big believers in it at the time. We had some talks early on, and we made the decision that if it went well for competitive, it is something that we would like to bring into quick play. And it feels like, as far as the experience goes for players in the game, that it works better when there's no hero stacking in there. That being said, there are times when hero stacking is either enjoyable for players or strategically it's something that they want to do because they're focused on learning a particular hero. So we, in the arcade mode that we just announced, there is a card in there with no hero limit. So for players that either really like it or have a particular need for it at any given time, they can go into the arcade and play it there.
There was some criticism levied at kind of what no hero stacking has done to competitive, in that it's opened up the door for almost like bullying in chat of someone being like, don't play soldier, you're a bad soldier, I'm better than you at this, you should switch. Are you worried about that spreading now into quick play, that attitude?
Something like that can happen. It gets difficult because there's obviously a meta for the game, and it's shifting at different times. So I think some people take their cues from the competitive scene and what they see there, without recognizing their own limitations a lot of the time. And so I would hope that in quick play, it's typically a more casual experience there. So I think there'll be a little bit less of it. And then I hope that people or players can realize that since they are not a pro level player, that sometimes it's best to play the hero that you're good at rather than the hero that you're supposed to be playing.
Another big announcement you guys made was you finally revealed Sombra, the 23rd hero for Overwatch. Can you tell me a little bit about her, and then also what you were trying to do with her in terms of her kit?
I'll talk a little bit about what we're trying to do with her in terms of her playstyle. She's actually kind of interesting. She has two kind of roles that I think are really fun for her. She's kind of a backline harass, which is interesting. Like, we have Tracer that can get back there, and Reaper sometimes can sneak in, but her stealth allows her to get behind and hack Reinhardt's shield to drop it. So that part's really interesting. Her ult is a great initiator. So her ult, the EMP, actually silences essentially everybody in an area. So if you're about to start a big team fight, hitting that ult is like a perfect way to go in.
And it also counters the Lucio ult in a pretty big way.
Yeah, there's so many things that like dropping Reinhardt's shield, countering Lucio. I believe it will pop McCree out like a stun almost. Like there's a lot of things that she can do that right now are really devastating the game, and her just nullifying some of that stuff is very big.
Yeah, any ability or state that is stunnable you'll get knocked out of it. So the McCree ult is one of them. But something like the Zenyatta ult, it won't knock you out of Zenyatta ult because you're not actually stunnable in that state. I think the other thing about Sombra is she's probably one of the most versatile heroes in the game now because she fills so many different roles. Like Jeremy was saying, she can get into the back lines and harass like nobody's business. It's funny because Tracer fulfills that role. But when you're fighting Tracer, you kind of always know where she's at. You'll see the little blink trail. But Sombra can pop in and then use her translocator beacon to just go somewhere that you have no idea where she's at. So she has the ability to hide better than anybody else does. And like Jeremy said, she can initiate, she can take down turrets, she can take down shields. So there's so many different things that she's capable of that I think that she's going to be like a really interesting addition to the current meta.
I was going to say one more thing about, in an interesting way, she has like a support role a little bit, which is she can hack health packs, which make it so the enemy team cannot pick them up. And she can do that to all the health packs that are in the area. So what she can do is essentially have that forward foothold for her team. The health packs regenerate faster and the other team can't pick it up. So in a way, it's like this cool kind of support element to her kit.
Yeah, no, I won't. I could keep going for a long time about all the cool stuff she does.
Back into the shadows.
So the other thing I do want to ask about is the Sombra ARG that led up to her, which was a hot topic, let's say, within the community. I want to ask, what was your goal with doing that, and do you think it was successful overall? Was it something you might try to do again in the future with a different character?
That's a great question. I haven't really heard it worded like that, but yeah, I think that parts of it were successful. You know, like we really wanted something that felt appropriate to Sombra, and as a hacker, something like an ARG felt like it really fit her kit. I mean, we also wanted there to just be something fun for the community to do. So yeah, in those respects, I think it was pretty successful, and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback from people that they really liked it. You know, it could have gone on a little too long. I think we've learned a lot from it. This is really the first time we've tried something like that. So if we do something like that again, I think you'd probably see it take a different format than this one has.
Maybe a little shorter?
Yeah, just a little.
Well, thanks very much for talking with me, guys, and stay tuned at PCGamer.com for more from BlizzCon.